Hello. Hello, Taurus moon. I didn't warn anybody. You are first. Hi, Bunny. Hi, AT. Oh my Lord. Hello, 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 everyone. I had a moment here thinking, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to go live on my actual birthday, which is Sunday. So I'm like, I'm supposed to be doing my nails right now. Okay. So I figured, you know what? We will just continue. And by doing, I mean the last layers. Like, why don't I just go live and finish my nails while I'm going live? So that's why I'm here. Okay. Thank you, Hawkeyes. So I won't start them or put on my next layer until a question comes so I can look down when I'm answering questions. So how is everybody? Are we all doing the best we can to choose to be new self? Huh? Is that what we're doing? Thank you for all the birthday wishes. I see them all come in. I really, really appreciate it. My birthday's technically Sunday, the 19th. Oh my God, you guys really are hitting me up. Thank you very much. I'm seeing all the birthday things. Thank you so much. Everyone is so nice. Your birthday's on the 23rd? Is it Julia or Yulia? Well, happy early birthday. Kim, I'm in the knowing my SP is mine. I know it. Good. Good, good, good. Oh my gosh. Thank you again to all the birthday wishes. All right, so heads up. When I'm working on answering a question, I'm going to be putting some layers on my nail, so I'm going to be looking down, okay? All right. So I didn't want you to think I'm being rude. I have to multitask. You know what I mean? Sneaking in a live stream. Monica N, thank you very much. Hey, Kim, can you talk about that constantly? Wait, can you talk about that constant, I believe you mean constant, feeling like you have to heal, be perfect to get your manifestation? I know many coaches say stuff like that. Happy birthday, you beautiful soul. Oh, well, thank you so much, Monica. Yeah, I can definitely talk about that. So remember, I'm putting a layer on, okay, while I'm talking. So yes, I am in the awareness that there are several, probably there's more coaches that say that you need to heal than those of us who say, no, you don't. And I think that's just because of the spillover of people and beliefs from the law of attraction world. Now, I gotta itch my nose. No offense to the law of attraction peeps. I don't think they're all bad. I just think there was a lot of, there were certain bad eggs in that community that had so many limiting beliefs that the whole community gets the shit for it, right? But really, law of attraction, law of assumption, they're pretty much the same thing. We just have different phrases for the same shit, right? Okay. So I understand the mentality behind you have to heal. But unfortunately, it's a mentality of believing you are a one-dimensional being. That you are you don't have the ability to be in any state of consciousness that you choose. And I believe that the moment we discovered that there are infinite versions of ourselves, and that we are accessing these versions of ourselves through our conscious thought, the conscious decision, since we're aware of that now, well, that would throw out any type of thinking that this has to be a healing journey, because not every version of you would require healing, right? If there's infinite versions of self, infinite, right? Remember, infinite is we don't know where it ends. It's infinity. It's forever. Clearly, there's versions of ourselves that haven't lived some of the shitty experiences that maybe some of us out there have had that helps to validate some of our shitty beliefs, right? So if that's a thing, that there are infinite versions of us, and I believe we know that now, we understand, as the Bible says, the infinite mansions that are provided to us within the heavens. The mansions are the versions of us, the states. Infinite. So if we know that, and we know that we choose to be our new self through our conscious thought, then where would the healing come in? Where would healing come into the equation if we're aware that we are multidimensional and we have infinite versions of ourselves? Don't get me wrong. I know that some people want that experience. They want the experience of believing and thinking that they're healing because they want to go through the motions and maybe some of the, I don't know, ceremonious actions to heal. If that's something you want to experience, you can. But it's silly to believe you have to once your awareness has been expanded to understand you are not this teeny tiny being locked in one state of consciousness, right? Once you have the understanding that each and every single state of consciousness is a new you with new beliefs. Because there's infinite versions, clearly we might have a state or two that have similar beliefs within them, but that doesn't mean they're in every single state. So therefore, it's never about healing. That, in my opinion, was wherever this healing concept came from. That was a very obvious, when you think about it, logical reasoning on how to change, on how to let go of trauma or heal, work our way through trauma. That's a logical response to it, isn't it? But we're above logic. We're above our physical meat sack. We're spiritual beings. That's a lack of a better phrase. We're more than just this. So again, this is not to shit on anybody who wants to go through a healing journey. By all means, have fun. When you're finished, come on back and talk to me. But for those of us who are like me and we just want to use the quantum jumping motion of leaving a version of ourselves behind, releasing, letting go, letting the old man die, so that we can step into new self. So yes, there are people that still talk about having to heal, and they just want shit to take time. They want the time experience, apparently. But it is not a necessity to manifest. If it were a necessity, we wouldn't have choice in which version of self we could embody. We would be locked to a state. I'm trying to think of an analogy I could give that to help it make more sense. Like, say you're cooking spaghetti and say your long piece of spaghetti broke apart. Are you going to spend time healing that back together, which is never going to happen, right? You're never going to put that spaghetti together again. Why wouldn't you just go grab another piece that's fully intact, perfect, new? And what do I mean by it's never going to get back together. It's because if you believe you need to heal, you will always have reasons to heal. You will always be in that cycle of healing. When's the healing done? How do you know when the healing's done? How do you know? There's never any answers to that. Why do you think that is? Because it's an endless fucking cycle. Endless cycle. So, everyone can have their own perspectives on how manifestation works. You're allowed. You're the boss of your reality. That's just not the experience over here on this channel. No. So I hope by you asking me this, Monica, it's not because you're afraid you need to. I hope it's not, because you don't need to. And really, we could talk circles around the healing theory all day long. There's, for example, I believe the logic came from the idea, well, our bodies takes time to heal. If I get a cut on my finger, it's going to take some time for that to heal. So it makes sense. If I'm hurting here, it's going to take time to heal. Right? That makes logical sense. But what about the people in the 3D that have had the experience of spontaneous healing? How did that happen? What about people that have been fully diagnosed, like CT scan, MRI, whatnot, evidence of having that ugly C word, cancer, and it's spontaneously going away? Those experiences have happened in the 3D world that, science and medicine can't explain. It's because spontaneous change, instant manifestation can happen. It can happen. So can spontaneous change, spontaneous healing. That can happen too. And it's just that we're aware of why it can happen. It's a state shift. Do you see what I'm saying? So, yeah, Monica, I hope that made you feel better. I hope it did. Ali, member for 2 months. Hey, Kim, how to keep choosing new self when opposing things in the 3D shows up, like SP saying he's moving in with 3P. Okay. Outside of, hold on one moment. What's going on? Oh, I see what you're saying, spamming. Okay, yeah, don't spam with questions, please. It's really rude, and it's not going to make, me answer you quicker. That's not going to happen, right? Please don't overwork the people trying to help me. Just saying. Okay? Don't spam. Let me just look really quick before I... Maybe let me add something. Hold on one second. Hold on, I'm fixing some things here. Give me 1 second. Okay. I don't see... I'm just skimming through. I see Rhonda's there. I don't see... Would anybody want to be a moderator? I see Rhonda's here, but I know Rhonda, I think, is at work too, and I don't want to make her overwork herself. Okay, hold on. 1 minute. Ollie, I already made you one. Hold on. Okay. Metaphysics with Steve, you're already one. Just in case you know. That's what the wrench is next to your name. You already are one. Leo, Beyonce, I got you. Okay. I just grabbed a couple of you. That's all. Okay. Goldie, don't worry about it. But now you know. Now you know, Goldie, don't spam. Don't overwork my moderators, please. Okay. Oop. No. Okay. I grabbed like 3 or 4 of you, so there you go. Okay, so new moderators, please be kind. Give them at least a minimum of 1 warning, unless of course you can see they're spamming absolute bullshit, nothing manifestation related. Automatically boot them. But anybody else, if they're spamming questions, be nice. Give them 1 warning before we put them in a partial timeout, but not boot them out. Right? Don't time them out forever. Just saying. Okay? Okay. Yeah, Beyonce. Yeah, be good today, please, everybody. It's the birthday one, okay? Now let me get my ass back to the question here. Let's see. Okay. Back to Ollie. All right. As far as when any SP says something to us that sounds like it's the absolute opposite of what we want to experience, like hearing they're moving in with third party. I know that is the last bloody thing we want the person, we're in love with to say to us. However, in that moment, outside of the fear of that person being with the third party, outside of that, okay, outside of the fear of them being with a third party, we already know we don't want that. We got that. But hearing that statement, what does that mean to you? Logically, I'm assuming it means, oh my God, they're choosing someone else. Oh my God, if they move in together, that's forever. They're all logical thoughts based off our conditioning of what happens in 3D reality or what we assume happens, right? So we know that statement, I'm moving in with third party. We know what that's coming from. That's coming from our old, we don't have it anymore. We're new self. Our old belief of not chosen, which is AKA not good enough. We know that. That's all that is. But we also know we don't know the how. We don't know what the unfolding looks like. I'm not telling you to prepare for bad things to happen. That's not at all what I mean. I'm saying we don't have to be afraid of anything that's said to us in 3D. We know that when we're fearing something in the 3D, it's because we're applying logic. This came up in the channel membership today. We're applying logic. When we're upset with what is happening in 3D, we're thinking literal and we're thinking logical. So we're trying to logically interpret 3D. And we don't have to do that. As muggles, as our old selves, muggle version of us, who doesn't know about conscious manifestation, that's how we would maneuver living in the 3D, is by literally accepting what people say to us and then making decisions based off of that. But that's not manifesting. So you don't have to fear your person is going to move in with 3P. You don't have to fear that. That has no bearing on you getting your manifestation. Right? So I'm not teasing you. I don't mean like get over it. I don't mean it like that. I just mean who cares? if you're returning to your decision to be your new self, then you know damn well that even if they did move in together, it ain't going to stay that way. That is not going to be something permanent in your reality. Not if you're choosing new self. We know how this works. 3D reality is dependent on us. 3D reality is reflecting us. Right? Now, I'm not saying, oh, because it's your fault, because your SP said that. That's not what I mean. I mean, we know better. We know that no matter what we're experiencing in reality, it has to reflect who we believe we are. So if we hear something in 3D, or, like experience something, have a circumstance in 3D that doesn't sound like it's our manifestation, then we know all we have to do is return to our decision and know and understand that whatever the circumstance or condition is, it's leading to you getting what you want. We don't have to pretend to like things in the 3D. We don't have to love that idea of those two moving in together. But it's not an obstacle to you. It's only an obstacle to your manifestation if you're believing that from logic. So return to your decision. This is not a threat to you. It just isn't. It means nothing. It's a reflection of your old fear. So if you responded to it in 3D or reacted, or if you're triggered right now, what does that mean? You're at your most powerful moment, right? Like yesterday's video, you're at your most powerful moment. Return to your decision. That circumstance is really, truthfully, so unimportant that Poop is literally snoring over it right now. She's snoring to it. She's like, Allie, you have nothing to worry about. You just have to return to your decision. Reality can't ignore you. 3D reality can't ignore your decision of who you are, because 3D reality is you. It's your reflection. So return. That's the answer, truthfully. I said this earlier. That is the answer to every single manifestation question. Whenever we are afraid of something, whenever we're experiencing something we don't like in reality, hey, return to your decision. Nothing to concern yourself with. Nothing. There are no true obstacles. We are conditioned to believe there are obstacles to things. But that's our old logical, literal conditioning. It's not our new self-truth. We have been conditioned, I said earlier, on how to maneuver 3D. We've been conditioned to believe that the reality sitting around us is it. This is it. This is just life. Reality is real. Well, yeah, reality is real, but so are infinite realities. So are infinite versions of ourselves. Or look at it as, so is the answer to every possible question, every possible outcome. They all exist, and they all exist now. I'm going to say this is why you see, and if you don't see, let me tell you, because we hear it in the group all the time, the Tuesday group, the Zhuzh group, that whenever someone stands back into conviction of their decision, when they return to that decision with conviction, like they just know it, something changes. Something changes out here. You hear it time and time again. It's because reality is reflecting you. So when you make a decision to be your new self, if reality still looks the same, stand in your decision. Stand. And the moment you make that decision, you get to comfortably know that if reality still looks exactly the same, there's nothing wrong. It's clearly a part of your outcome, or the unfolding to your outcome. It clearly is. We have had countless examples in the Zhuzh group on Tuesdays, especially over the last few weeks. It's like on fire, of really awesome but detailed orchestrations of people having what looks like a really shitty circumstance or an inconvenient circumstance that ended up leading to exactly what they were manifesting. We've been hearing about that literally off the chain in the group, which those are my favorite things. I love hearing about the orchestrations. I love hearing about the unfoldings, right? I know a lot of times when we think of successes, we only think about the manifestation itself. I love hearing about the unfolding because it just shows you that a lot of the times that you're worried or upset and wanting to push back against reality, that whatever is you were scared of, whatever the thing is that you want to push out of the way, is the thing that was leading you to the outcome all along. You know, I've said before, I didn't think breakups were going to lead me to my manifestation, but they did. They did. And I'm definitely not saying that, you know, you got to learn lessons. The universe is testing you. You got to learn your lesson. No, but in hindsight, I do know that if one of those breakups didn't happen, I don't know when I would have finally understood states of consciousness. Now, I'm not saying that a breakup had to happen for me to reread everything, Neville. But because I was in a victim state and manifested the breakup, God, universe, whatever you believe in, still took my fuck up. This is why I believe you cannot mess up your manifestations. Thank you very much. This is the exact reason why. Because I was in a victim state all the time, for what it's worth, and manifested 2 breakups. The first breakup only lasted 3 fucking days. Clearly, I didn't get anything out of that one. But that second one, it was a manifestation of my victim state that I am telling you authentically, I was always in a victim state because I didn't understand states of consciousness. But when that breakup happened and I was in total terror mode, like, what the fuck? This isn't what I'm manifesting. Why did this happen? This doesn't make sense. It made total sense. It was who I was being all the time. So it was my fuck up that the breakup happened. But I don't blame myself from that perspective. I'm just giving you the example of reality was reflecting exactly who I was being. But guess what? Because I chose not to give up on my manifestation, I instead decided to go back and reread Neville all over again. And thankfully, that was the time it finally clicked what Neville was talking about regarding states of consciousness. So universe, God, subconscious mind took my fuckery manifestation of a breakup and still took me in the direction to my outcome. Hence, why I don't think you can fuck up anything, so long as you are returning to your decision to be new self. And by me saying it, so long as, I'm just saying that's the idea to manifest, is you are choosing to be the you that has it. But universe, God, higher power, source energy, moonbeams, your subconscious mind, whatever you believe in, takes you from where you are and brings you where you need to be. There is never anything to fear. Really, never. So SP is saying something stupid, like they might move in with 3P. Okay, have fun at that. Have fun with that, bitch. Because I'm going to be over here deciding that I am the version of myself in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship with you. So good luck with that. That's not going to last long, unfortunately for you. Because you're going to get over here and love me. Because that's who I'm choosing to be. See what I mean? Ollie, you've got nothing to fear. Okay? Hopefully that made you feel better. Okay? Happy Panda, thank you very much for the birthday cake sticker. Thank you very much. Occasional, thank you very much. Dear Kim, need zhuzh, please. Felt like giving up, like everything falling apart. Want to manifest celebrity, SP, and money. Love you so much. Happy birthday. Well, thank you very much, first of all. Let me give that a little heart first so I know I did it. All right. So when you say everything's falling apart, why do you think that? Is it because reality doesn't look exactly the way you want it to right now in this moment? You're manifesting money. What's the matter? Like, did a bill come in? What threw you off? Something in reality doesn't look exactly the way you think it should, right? So I'm not, okay, because 3D looks very scary. Why does it look scary? Let's break this down. Good, Ali, I'm glad. Let's break it down. Okay, been kicked out of my place. Okay, so here's an example of something that we don't have to pretend to be happy with. We don't have to pretend to like the circumstance. But we can still tell ourselves, even if we're worried, even if we're afraid, because we are fearing the unknown, fearing of what's going to happen next. Even though our mind might be going in that direction, we can still choose to be our new self. So there's nothing wrong with authentically owning, I'm scared, I'm afraid of what's going to happen next in my reality. I don't like this circumstance. This circumstance scares me. But I know somehow, some way, it's leading me to my, however you want to word it, my desired life, or, my new home, or, enough money coming in. So I'm always with money. I always have enough money. I'm always safe. I always have a safe place to live, blah, 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 blah. I know somehow, some way it's leading me to that, because reality cannot defy you. It can't. So ask yourself, what have you been focusing on before that manifested? Where was your mind before it manifested? Is it a reflection of who you were? It probably is. And again, I think this is a good time to also mention, remember, guys, reality is reflecting your beliefs, the who you believe you are. So sometimes I see comments like, wait a minute, I didn't think about this thing ever. I never thought, and I'm going to use occasional as an example. She hasn't wrote this yet, but I'm just going to make it up. As far as I never thought I was going to get kicked out. I never thought that. So how did that manifest? Well, we don't have to think the specific thought for something to happen. Our beliefs are what manifests. Our state is what manifests. So I'm going to give examples like, you could have a belief that you're not safe where you're living. You can't trust the people you live with, or, the fear of being out on your own. Any one of those could lead to that manifestation. I'm not saying that is a bad thing. I'm saying, see, there you go. For me, it was probably feeling like I am not safe. Oh, you see how I said that before you wrote that? I love that. So I know it's not comfortable to be in circumstances that, I think every single one of us has some kind of fear of the unknown, which is why a lot of us are afraid our manifestations won't come, because it feels like an unknown outcome, an unknown thing. What's going to happen next in our life? And this is why, to answer that, my thing is always be present then. Get back to your present moment. If whenever you're thinking future, as in linear time future, if it's bothering you, if that fear of unknown is coming in, then instead be present. Return to your decision to be the version of self you want to be, and then keep yourself present. And what I would do if I'm experiencing something in reality right now that I do feel scared, I don't know what the next move is. First of all, I'm going to claim to be the version of self I want to be. I'm going to tell myself that, or affirm that to yourself. And I'm going to tell myself that I know everything always works out for me. I know everything's going to be okay, even though I might not know what the next thing is. But I know reality has to reflect me. I know that I didn't, have this experience. I didn't get to where I am right now on a fluke. I know I'm where I am based off of my old self. So I know manifesting works. And if I'm going to choose to be the version of myself that has exactly what I want, well, this version of myself isn't afraid of the future. This version of myself doesn't worry about what the next move is. This version of me knows that any move I make is the right next move, the right next decision. I know everything's going to be okay because I'm telling myself that's who I am. Even if I don't believe it right now in this moment. Even when, I'm affirming everything always works out for me, I feel like nothing ever works out for me. I'm going to claim it anyway. I'm going to claim it anyway. Because we have authority with that phrase, I am. There's authority, there's power in that phrase. That's why we were given that phrase, I am. I am always safe. I am always okay. Everything is always working out for me because I say so. That's who I am. And everything will be okay. This is a temporary moment in your existence. So return to your decision. And listen, when I say return to your decision, I'm talking about returning to be the version of yourself that has what you're manifesting. So if you're manifesting money and you're manifesting a celebrity SP, then that's who new self is. And new self, because I don't know if you're thinking this, but new self knows that a celebrity SP is no different than any other SP. So we're not going to worry that a celebrity SP is too difficult to manifest because they're so above us. No, they're not. So if you know you are worried about that, stop. They're no different. They are still connected to you in consciousness like every other being is. Right? One consciousness, one universal mind. We're all connected. You might not logically be able to interpret that or understand that or make sense of that, but you don't have to. That's the beauty of this. You don't have to. That's why we don't have to figure everything out. That's why we don't have to come up with the plan or the route in which a manifestation comes. We just have to choose it for ourselves. See what I'm saying? So choose it. Choose it anyway. Even when you're scared. Even when you're worried. Okay? Choose it anyway. Okay? Choose new self. You're going to be all right. This is a temporary moment. Okay, occasional? Monica, thank you very much. How to believe new ideas more when the old ones are so loud and true. Well, the good thing is we don't necessarily have to have our belief in order to manifest. We don't. And belief will come as you are utilizing repetition in your decision to be new self. And when you say that the old ones are so loud and true, it's also a habit. So you are in the midst of breaking the habit of believing those shitty old negative thoughts. So your body is still going to respond from the habit. So let's say, for example, that you're having a fearful thought of, I don't know, let's say you're manifesting an SP and you're having a fearful thought that, well, I'm never going to get them. That SP is never going to choose me. Okay, so in that moment, maybe your body gave you like that punch in the gut feeling. Okay? That's your body responding out of habit because you've had the habit of believing thoughts like that. So this isn't something to panic over. This is something to say, okay, I got to return to my decision. I have to return to my decision to be new self. It's okay that I'm feeling this way. All right? It's okay if I'm having a moment that, oh my God, I don't think I believe anything I'm saying as far as your affirmations. Okay. Return to your decision anyway. Return to your decision no matter what you're thinking and feeling. As you utilize the repetition, you're going to start believing. And you will be seeing differences, nuanced differences in 3D. And all I mean are, synchronicities, signs, if not the full manifestation. Again, You really don't necessarily have to believe your affirmations to manifest, because it's not the affirmations that manifest, it's your state. So until you're more aware of what state you're in, you don't know fully if you're in a state where whatever you're manifesting isn't possible for you. You don't know that till you ask yourself that. So don't fear. Return to your decision anyway. Okay? As far as quieting the thoughts, well, as you return to your decision, those negative thoughts will simmer down. But it doesn't mean you'll never get them. That's why we don't have to control the thoughts that are coming in. Right? We don't have to stop those thoughts. We break the habit of listening to those thoughts. It's okay that they come in, right? That doesn't mean you're doing something wrong because a shitty thought pops in. It doesn't. Thoughts are nothing but vehicles to other realities or other versions of yourself. Okay? Laying back in his tenderness. Thank you very much. Is it K-Samar? K-Samar? Thank you very much. New subscriber. Just wanted to show appreciation. Thank you. Thank you so much. That was very nice. That was very nice. And welcome. Welcome to the fellowship of HBICs. Head bitches in charge of their reality. Of course, you can change that B word. Badass. Boy. What are some B words we could put in there? Boss. Thank you very much. Shay Nicole, thank you very much. Happy birthday, Kim. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to have to talk about that free car service, ICE, next Tuesday if I'm able to join. Love you. Hope you have a wonderful day. Oh, what? I need to hear all about this. Free car service. What? I need to know what's going on, Shay Nicole. You got to fill me in. And thank you for the birthday wishes. Eric S. Williams, thank you very much. Beautiful bestie, guess who manifested a brand new, fully paid off SUV by deciding to be the me who has a brand new car. You are too good to us. I'm so excited. Love you so much and happy birthday. Thank you so much, Eric. I am so fucking excited for you. Well done and congratulations on your manifestation. For all of you that aren't aware of this, Eric is the the most amazing bestie ever because he leaves me timestamps on my videos. Timestamps of little nuggets in my videos for me to clip so I can reuse or share. And I very much appreciate it. Really, really appreciate it. Not the timestamps of when I'm done with my long-winded intro. Not those timestamps, because those are rude. But timestamps of nuggets. Thank you very much. Eric, thank you. Thank you, thank you. And you need to share this manifestation in the Tuesday group. That's a zhuzh. Congratulations. Bad Kitty, member for, what's I say, 36 months. She's an OG of the channel. Thank you very much. Happy motherfucking birthday to the baddest bitch I know. I love you and hope it's the best ever. Thank you so much. I love you too. I love you too. You've been a loyal person to me, which is much appreciated. She's been here since literally day one. She joined my channel membership literally from day one. And the truth is she don't really need me, but she supports me. She's loyal and I love you and I appreciate you. Honestly. Thank you very much. Stella Hayes, thank you very much. Hi, Kim. SP and I just broke up, but still talk every day. Doesn't feel like we've fully broken up. Still have something there, but he is unsure. Super hot and cold behavior. How should I go about this? All right, Stella. Hot and cold behavior is a direct reflection of hot and cold you, hot and cold thoughts, or wavering. So I don't know if you're newer to manifestation. I know this is your first super chat, but this is what it's telling me. Let me say this. You're going to want to take a real, authentic look on what you believe about love and relationships. Also, what you really believe about your specific person in the relationship. What do you believe? What's possible for you? Okay? Do you believe it's possible to have the relationship with your person? Now, obviously, you must believe relationships are possible somewhere because you've already manifested the relationship. We don't got to discuss there being a solo vacation right now. If you're new to my channel, that just means breakup. We're not even going to acknowledge the breakup. It doesn't matter that he's unsure of whether to come back. Let's not focus on that, right? Because that's the manifestation of your old self. And by old self, I mean the you that had some limiting beliefs around love. So what is it you're fearing around the relationship? Like, how did the breakup happen? You know, what was verbalized? Use that as feedback to whittle down to the belief that it manifested from. Okay? Now, I'm just doing a guessing here because we haven't talked one-on-one, but a lot of the times it's a not good enough belief that comes in. You know, the fear of somebody cheating or whatever connected to the not good enough. So you want to decide that's not who you are anymore, that you are the version of yourself that's in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship with him. You're the version of self that knows that she's more than enough. The whole, you know, I didn't think I was a priority, or, you know, I was afraid that he was gonna, you know, choose someone else or leave me or abandon me. Those are all connected to the not good enough. Do you hear her snoring? Are you so bored? She's so bored. So take a look at what your authentic beliefs are around love, relationships, and around your guy. Okay? And, you know, if he's got anything unfavorable, like him showing up and saying he's not sure. No, he's 100% sure. That's who he is now. He's the version of himself that is committed to you, that wants to be in the, you know, the long-term relationship with you. That's the version of him you're choosing, that you're bringing in. Okay? The last thing we want to do is focus and be hung up on the reflection of a shitty version of him. Because anytime a shitty version of our SP show up, they're reflecting one of our beliefs. I don't mean that from the place of you've got to, you know, blame and shame yourself for what's manifested. I'm saying, no, take a look at what you were thinking. What were you believing? What were you expecting from him? You know, that not good enough belief, okay? That not good enough belief can manifest an SP to start acting like a twat. And then from there, we've created another belief that that's a part of their personality. See that? So it's like two of them for the price of one. So if he's got something about, or maybe there was something in his personality before it manifested that was, you know, contributing to fear, well, then we want to lose that character trait, don't we? We don't want to focus on that anymore. We want to decide that he is his best version too, right? Because they're going to reflect you. But because they're reflecting, if we've got beliefs about them specifically, we want to look at those and decide that we only have favorable ones. Make sense? Okay? Don't panic, though. Manifesting SP's back is my specialty. Saying that with sarcasm. Well, you know, it is my specialty. I've done it. All right. Mimi, thank you very much. Today was a bit tough. I was bored during the day. I don't know. And I listened to doubts. What if it doesn't work? Because you haven't got your last P either. Oh, I love this one. This is a good question. Listen, okay. I understand 100% what you're thinking. That you're manifesting an SP and then your mind is using the fact that you didn't manifest the SP before in. So what makes you think you're going to manifest this SP, right? Okay. So I made a video in regards to this. God, when did I think I put it up last year, to be honest. That in the video, I told you there was one. But I don't remember in the video if I was telling you about an old SP or an old friend. I don't remember. But there were two people in my reality that my mind would use against me. You know, why are you so sure you can manifest A, B, and C? You know, you still haven't heard from this. I know, because it was the belief of, oh man, I don't know if I made the video about this example, but I'm going to make you feel better. So I believed I had the belief that, you know, exes all came back. Any ex, they always come back. They've always wanted me back. And I made that video because I manifested, I think I didn't, I'm getting confused on what video I made. I hope the video I made was on the SP, an old SP, but if not, then it was the friend one. And now I've made the XSP one. Well, it doesn't matter. Long story short, my mind would use that against me because there was one ex who I thought, oh my God, I don't think they ever came back. Oh no. Does that mean they don't all come back? Does that mean I'm not manifesting a specific person, blah, blah, blah? You know, the same type of fear coming in. So just like in the example I used in that video, I'm like, well, no, that person needs to, I want that person back. I need to prove it. You can manifest anyone. So I started deciding, just like I did with the person in that video I put up. I wish I could remember what video it was. I started doing that. I started deciding that they all come back no matter what, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, that person, the person I'm referring to, has been blowing up my phone. So the two people my mind would use against me throughout the past, they both came in, okay? So just because your original SP hasn't come in yet, they will. So don't listen to your fucking mind, okay? Don't listen. It's so easy for me to say, don't. That it's just fear. You know, remember, there's a lot of people in the community that start manifesting one SP and then they move on to a second one. And, you know, it's because, number one, let me say this. From fear, you're looking at that original SP as an unsuccessful manifestation. And in the scheme of things, that's just really not true. Your reality was reflecting what you believed, right? So just because SP1 didn't come in yet doesn't mean they never will. See, that's another logical, literal interpretation of really, God, I hope I am making sense right now because I feel like I'm answering all over the place. Your mind is just throwing a fear at you. See, we as humans, due to our conditioning, we tend to, if certain manifestations haven't shown up yet, if we're impatient and decide to move on from the manifestation, a lot of us look at those manifestations and like call them dead, like they never worked. You know, that manifestation failed. Well, no, manifestation is perfect. It always works, but reality will reflect who you are. And until you decide you are the version of yourself that can have whatever in reality, then it will come in. Because again, we don't know the how. We don't know how it's going to look to unfold. Do you see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Does it make sense? Don't rule the SP1, even if you don't even want that SP1, don't rule that out as they never manifested in. That manifestation failed. Not really. I mean, you're still living on this planet, aren't you? You're still in your 3D body. So it couldn't have failed. It just hasn't shown up yet. Well, who were you? Who were you? What version of you were you when you were manifesting SP1? Were you the version of yourself that believed you were in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship with that person? Or were you mostly in the wavering land? Do you see what I mean? You were probably in the wavering land more often than you were in the new self land. So when SP2, now you're manifesting SP2. When your mind, do this for shits and giggles. Do it for shit. You know you don't want to manifest SP1 anymore, so tell yourself that everyone that you've ever wanted comes in, gives you attention, contacts you. So you can prove it to yourself that that person will manifest in, just so you can throw that fear off. Prove it to yourself. Because I'm telling you, they will contact you. You can do this. You know? You are God universe, whatever you believe in. That's who you were. Decide it for yourself. But why be afraid? Do it. What do you have to lose? Of course that person wanted me. Of course they did. They won't leave me alone. Of course they did. I'm telling you, you wait and see if they'll contact you. They'll contact you. And you can throw that fear right off your back. I don't want SP1. I was in a beautiful relationship with SP2 afterwards, but I drive it to shit again. No, don't talk like that. Don't say that. You did not drive it to shit. Decide to be the version of you that's in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship with SP2. Then what is your fear around SP1 that you're listening to? So if it wasn't that SP1 never manifested in, what was it? What's the fear you're allowing to hold you back? Because you're listening to it. They always come back. My belief is that my SP never leaves, and he hasn't. Exactly. Your mind, unless it's you choosing a conscious thought, your mind is going to give you options. And sometimes the options ain't great, right? Thoughts that come in are options to other realities. So when fearful thoughts come in, just like the book, Outwitting the Devil, you don't got to listen to the fears. Fearful thoughts, negative thoughts, outside of the fact, they're just options to other realities. When we listen to them, what happens? What happens when we listen to those thoughts? We drift off into more shitty thoughts, into the spiral. Right? Outwitting the devil. You're drifting. Don't listen to those thoughts. Bring it back. Bring it back. Decide who you want to be. I'm telling you, if you were manifesting an SP1, okay, don't rule that out. Don't use the SP1 manifestation against yourself. Don't. You can do this, Mimi. And I'm thinking, Mimi, Jesus Christ, did I misunderstand your original question? And I just went through that whole thing telling you that you can get SP1 to come in, and you don't even want SP1. I thought you were asking me the same question that when I was manifesting, my SP, that thought of, oh my God, that one SP didn't come in the way I said he was gonna, whenever. And then, I was not accepting that. I believe that we manifest our realities. So I knew that was wrong, meaning that fear. I'm like, that can't be true. I'm going to prove that that's not true. that we really are always manifesting specific people all the time. When we talk about specific people, all of us in this community have a tendency to just get all wrapped up in our love SP manifestations. And we forget we are manifesting specific people all the time. You know, everyone that we choose to intermingle with are SPs to us. You know, like when we have an annoying coworker and we want them to stop being annoying at work and we suddenly manifest them no longer there working. We get them out of the company. Don't all think negative. We're not getting people fired. We can get people to move to new places of work. But I'm saying that was you manifesting a specific person. Do you see what I mean? We're doing it constantly. So when our mind uses previous SPs against us, like you didn't get that one didn't work out, you failed at that manifestation, you know, they never manifested back in, well, fuck that. If I know I don't want SP1, I really want SP2, but my mind is constantly throwing me that fear, well, you know, SP1 never came back, well then fuck it. Decide to be the version of self who always gets what they want. Decide to be the version of yourself that all the exes come back. Anybody you want wants you. I'm telling you, that focused thought, that focused decision, you'll get contact from SP1. Yeah, I know you don't want the relationship with them, but there you go. There's your evidence. You are manifesting SPs all the time. It does work. If you want someone, right? If you want someone, it is working on them too. Don't let stupid thoughts like manifestation failure scare you out of manifesting the SP2. I'll be honest, there is nothing more exciting to me to see that old one blowing up the phone. I don't want that old one either, but it's, you know, isn't it satisfying? I remember the day that the texts came in. It was exciting. Like, I knew it. It is always working. It doesn't matter. It's always working. We are all connected. There is nothing to fear in the SP manifestation land. I'm just saying. There's nothing to feel. Nothing to fear. Fear. Even if you have no contact with your specific person, I'm telling you it doesn't matter. You are still connected to them. So if your mind is using an old SP against you, they never manifested back in, they never came back in, prove it to yourself. Decide right now that they're contacting you. They will contact you. They will contact you. It doesn't mean you got to interact with them, but it'll satisfy you. I'm telling you. And it'll, what do you call it? What's that word? Not boost your ego. Oh, what's it? It'll boost of confidence in that you are manifesting all the time, and you're manifesting specific people all the time. Okay? Wait, tell me about it. I've been robotic affirming that SP will message me today, and my ex keeps messaging me instead. It's because you got no resistance. You got nothing saying, oh my God, they won't text me. From your ex, you couldn't care less. So there's nothing, right? There's nothing in the wavering pool. See? All right, let's see. Bryn Drescher, member for 7 months. Thank you very much. Happy birthday. You are amazing. Glad I discovered your awesomeness. I am grateful for your service. Hope you have a birthday half as awesome as you are. I love you, Bryn. Thank you very much. And look at you wasting your member chat, the freebie one on me. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. And I appreciate you, my friend. I do. Paige Aubrey, thank you very much. My SP is showing up like a twat. I've asked him to leave me alone until he makes a decision, but he still messages me every day. Should I just ignore him? Do we all hear what she's saying here? Did we all hear that? My SP is showing up like a twat. I've asked him to leave me alone until he makes a decision, but he still messages me every day. Should I just ignore him? This is your specific person? and you're upset that they're messaging you, this is a first. This is a first. I cannot think of another time on how many years of this channel and how many live streams I have done and how many coaching calls I have done. Have I ever had someone upset that their specific person was contacting them? You are my first. Okay, so they're still messaging you. Is he being negative or of something? Is it negative messages? Is he being mean? Am I crazy? Is that what's happening? Is he being a rude twat? Paige Aubrey? Because outside of that, what is he saying that's got you so, I am so frustrated he's a twat? What's happening here? He's just being cold and not affectionate, but he's still talking to you. Paige, what bloody version of self are you in? First of all, okay, I know I've said that we can set boundaries. We can do all that. So I'm not poo-pooing on you for setting a boundary. But that sounded like a boundary, aka also an ultimatum. So I am hoping that when you chose to tell him, don't contact me until you've made a decision, I hope you made that boundary moment from the version of self that has what you want and not from I'm going to force him to make a decision. Right? Let's be mindful. Oh, and if you didn't already know, because then I know you didn't watch yesterday's video, but yeah, I did this to my face. Just saying. Okay, back on. All right. So I need to know. All right. So he's unsure and doesn't want the relationship. So then can I just ask, what is he talking about when he's contacting you? Is he just discussing the weather or is he being, I just don't understand. Like I said, you've got me perplexed. You gave him this, hey, don't contact me until you make a decision. So he continues to contact him. So clearly he made a decision. He clearly wants to be with you. So if he's showing up, in my opinion, that's what he's doing anyway. Right? Am I crazy? Am I not understanding that? You told him not to contact you until he made a decision regarding the relationship, I'm sure. All right, so he's continuing to contact you. So it sounds like he made a decision, but he can only reflect who you're really being, Paige Aubrey. So who are you really being? Because if you are interpreting reality a specific way, well, that's telling you who you are. So if we're perceiving reality that he's still showing up cold and shitty, like a twat, if it's bothering you, right? If it's triggering you, who are you then in that moment? So yes, he's texting just like morning and whatever, morning and how are you? Hold on. Nope, he won't make plans. Okay, so in other words, he hasn't asked you to make plans, but he's still keeping in contact with you. Well, Paige, the man is showing up wanting you clearly. Hence why he's staying in contact with you. So he's made his decision. He's just not showing up the way you fully want. Meaning, I'm gonna call it like giving you the attention you want. Okay? So I'm suggesting you ask yourself, where am I really focusing? Am I focusing on all the things he's not doing and getting frustrated because he's not showing up right? He's not asking me for plans. He's not asking to see me. Or are we focusing on being the version of self that has the most loving, fulfilling, committed relationship? And if you, Paige, are anything like I used to be, you're probably focusing on how he's not asking you to make plans. See, I used to get triggered as shit with the morning text. Morning. That's what I thought his voice sounded like when I would get those texts. Morning. How are you? What do you mean, how am I? I'm not your coworker. Just saying. So I'm struggling because he was so affectionate before. And yes, we have the same story, Kim. Okay, then Paige, we got this. Get your ass out of the victim state. He was so loving and sweet in the beginning, I'm sure, because your limited beliefs had not taken over at that point. Just like me, right? So he started changing as he was reflecting your limited beliefs. Mine was not good enough, the not good enough belief. And that, relationships for me don't last more than 2 years. Can't manifest anything longer than 2 years, which that's a story in itself. How I listened to that belief, knowing that before that belief existed, my relationship prior to that was 10 years. So why my dumb ass believed that, that's another story. But still, all right. I manifested him in, and he was perfect. Yes, because your limited beliefs hadn't affected him just yet. So you need to happily, authentically decide that you are the version of yourself that no longer has whatever beliefs. Okay. Like I said, my beliefs were the not good enough. Love wouldn't last for more than 2 years, or, relationships are hard. So you want to decide you're not that version of yourself. And you want to tell yourself, these are some of the things I would say. I finally understand what it feels like to be chosen. I understand it now. I feel that now, right? I'm finally the me that gets to experience real love, a real loving, fulfilling, committed relationship. And I get to keep it. That's who I am now. I'm the me who's not afraid of losing love, because this is the me who's never had her heart broke. That's how I would talk to myself. And like I said, in the past, I would tell you that it felt more like an inner conversation with my higher self. So I called it like an affirmation inner conversation hybrid. And I would focus on telling myself that's who I am. I wouldn't put much focus on him. If I were you, I wouldn't. I would put the focus on who you are. At best, put in some affirmations that he is back to his loving self. He's reflecting his true self now. That's the only version I see of him, is his true self, which is unconditional love. But put it all on you, who you are, who you believe you are. What you believe about him is included with your identity, with who you believe you are. Right? So we want to believe he's his best version. And listen, take it from me. Don't waste time marinating on all the things maybe in the past that he did to let you down, disappoint you, hurt your feelings, like canceling plans, not asking you for plans. Try not to marinate on that, because we know that's just the manifestation of those shitty beliefs. It's not because that's his true personality, his true self. That's the big thing here. In the manifestation world, if you sincerely want success with manifesting a specific person, now, Paige, I'm not saying this is you. I'm saying this to anybody listening. You really do got to let go of the dating world advice. What a dating coach would give it advice. You really got to drop it. Because how the 3D world tells us how to maneuver getting a man back or getting a girl back is shit advice. It's shit advice. Remember what's happening in manifestation. Remember, reality is reflecting your beliefs, your state of consciousness, what you believe about yourself. Okay? Try to remember there is a damn difference. 3D dating coach advice versus manifestation advice. If you can clearly see how the relationship started trickling downwards, if it was a match to your fears, to your limited beliefs, then you can comfortably see he's not really naturally a twat, right? So remember, this is also not a moment for you to be beating yourself up for how things manifested. We don't beat ourselves up over here. We don't do the blame and shame game. We just make changes. But I'm saying when you look at the past and you see some of the things that manifested that you didn't like, and you can clearly see, yep, I was afraid of that. Yep, I knew I had that such and such belief. So it makes sense why something like that would manifest. Well, there you go. There's your evidence. Manifestation is very much real. So return to your decision to be your new self. He'll want the relationship back. I don't have to worry about that. I know that's easy for me to say because you're the one living it. I know, but I'm living from advice, living from experience, living from, I already did this. I know you can do it. So take my advice. Return to your decision to be your new self. It'll work. Okay? And when your mind wants to remind you of all the times he's let you down, you've got to make that conscious decision to say, no, I'm not going back to that reality. Nope. That's not who I am now, and that's not his true self, right? All of us, every single one of us, our true selves is unconditional love. Okay? I love you, Paige. You are so sweet. Thank you for saying that I changed your life, but you want to know what? It's you that changed your life. Give yourself the credit. You're doing it. So well done. The Wistful Raven, thank you very much. Love you. Can't wait for the new growth. The new growth. The new group. I'm excited, and oh my gosh, I hope you are coming to that new group, girl. It'll be nice seeing you again. More on the regular. Yay. Yes, for anybody else out there. I'm just waiting on YouTube's approval. It's already been submitted. The moment they give it the okay, YouTube always has to approve the memberships. So if you got more than one membership like I do, I had to wait on their approval in the past. So I'm just waiting for them to give me the thumbs up to the group, and we will have our new channel membership. The new channel membership will be for advanced manifestors. That does not mean that newbies can't join, but bear in mind you want to at least have some of the basics of manifestation down. And by the basics, just understanding that we're manifesting our realities, right? We're going to deep dive on manifestation in that group, meaning we're going to read all the books. And we're going to do the books from everyone, okay? Nothing's going to be excluded. I mean, as long as it's talking about manifestation, of course. So I'm saying from the perspective of reality transurfing, back to Neville, and anybody else. Like I do want to do Outwitting the Devil for anybody that hasn't already read that, because I think that's a good one. But we're going to vote as a group. As soon as that membership's up, we're gonna vote on what book we're going to start with. I want to start with Reality Transurfing, and either that or Outwitting the Devil. But regardless, that's going to be the new group. And if you join the new group, you, just like the hot seat group, it's the trickle down effect. Well, that's probably the wrong phrase, right? No, trickle down effect, yeah. You will have access to all the memberships. So if you join the new group, boom, 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 boom. You have access to everything, because it's another tier. You can't make a lower tier. I don't know why you can't do that, but you can't make a lower tier. It's got to go up a tier. Not my rules. So yeah, I'm excited for that group too. Katie.png, thank you very much. Hi, Kim. The guy I'm talking to told me he was attracted to me emotionally and physically, but we are not each other's people. We have a blast together, but getting hung up on that quote part. Advice. So he said to you that we are not each other's people. Do you accept that? Do you believe that as your truth? Do you believe what he says is final in your reality? And let me just say, his word is not final. Don't get me wrong, SPs aren't, robots. I suppose since I said I was going to finish my nails while we're talking, SPs are not robots, but they don't have free will in your reality. They just don't. I know some people struggle with that concept, but when you think about it, no one does. No one has free will in reality. Our own free will ends at who we're choosing to be. I know we think that we're, doing things on our own accord. And in a sense, I can see that it looks that way, but we're reality hopping is what we're really doing. Like everything's already created. We're not creating anything. We're choosing. We're choosing. I don't mean that, there's a destiny. You're destined for this. Well, you're destined to have what you want. But there are infinite versions of you. So all different versions of you want different things, hence all the different realities, you know what I'm saying? But regardless, so him reflecting you, we're just not each other's people. That sounds to me like the reflection of the not chosen belief. And from coaching experience, not chosen and not a priority is the little offsprings of the not good enough belief. So does that resonate with you? Does that resonate? Meaning, would you agree that you at one time had that limited belief? Because SPs can only reflect. And remember, SPs are more than just a person you're, having love interest with. Everyone you're intermingling with is reflecting you. So I wouldn't panic. And I certainly, if I were you, hold on, what would you write? It resonates hard. Okay, so good. I mean, well, not good. I don't want you to think you're not good enough, but good. It makes sense, right? So it resonates. So that makes sense. And that's proving to you that manifestation is very, very real, right? I know that's not a fun manifestation, but there you go. There's your proof. He was reflecting your limited belief. So if you still want something, if you want to manifest this person, start deciding that you are the you that knows that you're more than enough. You're the you that gets what she wants. Use the words that feel good to you. You don't have to use my exact affirmations. But decide, this is what I did to make it easier. I just made a list. I made a list of who I wanted to be, what I wanted my relationship to look like, how I wanted to be treated, how I wanted to feel about my relationship. And then I did it for every single area, just one big list. And then I started telling myself, I'm new self. That's who I am. I'm the version of self that. Use the words that feel good in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship with that person. And put the dominant amount of the focus on you and who you are. It'll change. It'll change their mind. I wouldn't give up if you don't want to give up. If you know you have interest in this person, then keep going. Remember, if reality shows us something we don't like, it doesn't mean we got to give up and we're suddenly not going to get what we want. All it means is, okay, clearly this uncomfortable, shitty moment is on my bridge of incidents. It's in the unfolding and it's still leading me to exactly what I want because I know who I'm choosing to be. I know I'm choosing to be the version of me that has exactly what I want. And what I want is that relationship. Okay? To any of you out there, also, let me just say, no, it's not a large cat. It's my pit bull, Poop, my daughter. Okay? She's not just my dog. She's my daughter. Thank you very much. I want to talk about free will really quick because I know sometimes we stumble on free will. If your person is showing up like shit and you can clearly see and identify, yeah, that makes sense. Just like our friend Katie here. Katie resonated with the idea of me saying perhaps that belief of not good enough was there. So her person was showing up reflecting the not good enough belief. There's your evidence that your person really didn't have free will and really had to reflect your beliefs. I think because of conditioning, we struggle to think that it's easy to believe the negative. It's easy to believe that no, it's normal that someone, had the free will to decide, I just don't want you, Katie. I just don't want you. I'm just not into you, Katie. Right? That's their free will. It's easy to believe that because it's negative. For a lot of us, it's easy to believe the negative first, and that's because most of us are conditioned from a victim state. It's not our fault. It's not your fault. It's not. Most of our beliefs came when we were little kids, when we were little babies. So our beliefs, our conditioning, not our fault. It's not our caregivers, our parents and such. It's not their fault either. They were conditioned too, right? So we're not poo-pooing on the people that raised us. Unless you had a terrible upbringing, well then, frig your caregivers, right? Frig them. But we're not limited to what beliefs we started our life with, right? We came here as a clean slate, and we can hop around to any version of ourselves that we want to be. We're not limited by our past. None of us are. But when it comes to the free will, I'm sorry if it's a struggle for you to accept that. It's a struggle for you to accept it because more than likely, there's probably one of two things. Number one, maybe you're just thinking you're messing with someone's morality, right? Or maybe there's a moral reason why you think you're fucking with their free will, like witchcraft. Saying that sounds like witchcraft is a bad thing, and I personally don't think that it is. So just like I can't say negative Nellies and negative Nancy's anymore, because that's shitting all over Nancy's and Nellies, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to shit on witchcraft. What can be, the devil's work? There you go. It's the devil's work to manifest and mess with someone's free will. No. Stop limiting yourself to this teeny tiny box. Some of y'all are so wrapped up in the free will thing. Why? Because it's easy to believe that someone just doesn't want you. Is that why? Do you think you're doing something bad to your specific person? You're not infringing on anyone. You are choosing from the infinite, the absolute. You're choosing from the infinite, the version of your person that wants you to. So you're not forcing anyone to do anything against their free will. You're not forcing someone to love you. You're not. You're choosing the version of them that willingly does. Right? And isn't that how Neville Goddard worded it? I can't remember the exact quote, but it was something along the lines of everyone that we intermingle with, everyone on this planet in your reality, willingly plays their part. And by playing their part in the orchestration or unfolding of your desire. Everyone does. They may not know or understand why they're making the decisions they are, but they're doing it willingly because you're not doing anything against their fucking free will. You're choosing versions of peeps. Just like you yourself are able to hop around to different versions of yourself, different states of consciousness. It's kind of the same idea. Your person has infinite versions of them too. Okay? So let's get that mindset that you're hurting people. You're not hurting anybody. You're not. And I know that when specific people are not saying the things we want, oh my gosh, I know it hurts, but it hurts because you're believing in permanence. You're believing in the separation of 3D reality, and you're not separate, and nothing is fucking permanent. Everything is changing at all times because everything exists in the now, in this present moment. So in the infinite, there is a version of you who is in a magical relationship with your person. It already exists. You are just placing your awareness on that. So you get to have your experience, live your best life. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Holly Hollis Hutchinson, thank you very much. Member for 26 months. Hey, Kim. If SP says something I don't prefer related to money and saying I have to give up my lifestyle, etc., how do I respond? And can I just imagine something new? It just happened and I don't want to let it get out of hand, etc. Happy birthday. Thank you very much. Okay. So yeah, if SP is saying something, we'll just use the example of giving up your luxury lifestyle. And that is not anything you feel like doing, then you return to your decision to be the girl that's living her most amazing luxury lifestyle. So how would I handle it if I had to interact with SP and SP said something like that to me? I'm more of a sassy person. So I know I would be responding in my 3D like, I'm going to do whatever I want. Thank you very much. No one tells me what to do. It's my reality. But okay, you know, if you're not like me and don't want to sass, what I would do is look at that for what it is. If you're getting a reflection that makes you feel uncomfortable, there you go. That's a reflection of a belief. And what did we hear or learn about the moments we're feeling triggered? It's our most powerful moment. Time for you to return to your decision to be the most luxurious, full of money self. Living the most blissful marriage with your person. They're on board with that luxury lifestyle because it's a blissful marriage, right? It couldn't be blissful if we're fighting over money, right? Return to your decision. In the 3D, if you're not like me and don't want to sass and don't want to say anything back, then just comfortably say, okay, I understand your opinion. I understand your opinion. Okay. Then do what you want. Do what you want. It's your world. You're believing in your 3D too much right now. You're believing that's a permanent thing. And that, you know, SP is unchangeable. No, it's your fear talking. You have wonderful experience of knowing that people can change and change their minds. You also know that amazing things and circumstances can change like that in 3D. You know it. You're just listening to 3D right now. You're listening. You're believing in that fear. Return to your decision. Return to your decision and continue living the life you want to live. Right? We don't have to argue in 3D. We don't have to. But don't allow those words to mean more to you. See them for what they are. Reflection of fear. That's it. Okay? Thank you again. I'm seeing all the birthday wishes. I really do appreciate it. I do. And if I missed yours and I didn't address you directly, I'm sorry. I'm seeing them all come down. Thank you very, very much. I really do. I do love you all. I do love and appreciate each and every. I do not take anything for granted. I don't. I'm really appreciative of our little community over here, you know. And as corny as it sounds, I really do consider all of you my manifestation friends, right? Outside of, you know, my normal like day-to-day life, you guys are you're my socializing time. And I'm very grateful for it. Just saying. Sia, member for 1 month. Thank you very much. Can I still manifest for my SP even if I hurt them or said something that could lead to a breakup? Of course. There's nothing in reality that could ever stop you from manifesting anything, let alone your SP. If you hurt their feelings, if you did something to SP, okay, and it's bothering you, well, first of all, you feeling bad about it, we don't want you to beat yourself up, but you're already feeling bad about it. So clearly you're not an asshole, right? You have some feelings of regret, okay? Sounds like someone with a caring heart to me. So then if it's weighing on you, revise it. And there's nothing wrong with apologizing in the 3D if you want to. You know, if that would relieve some of your guilt, because we don't want to blame and shame ourselves for things. You know, it's okay to be accountable, but not to stress over it. We don't need to stress. You could always revise. You can revise anything if that'll make you feel better. But nothing can hinder you from manifesting what you want. For real. Right? Any mountains can be moved with our mind, you know, bending reality. So, yeah, of course you can. I'm not sure how to pronounce your first name. Udita? 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 These are the moments that I wish I could hear you say the name so I could say it right. But thank you very much. Kim, I have a strong urge since yesterday to ask out SP myself if they want to date me this time or not. Should I proceed or will it mess up my 3D if I do? No, nothing can mess up your manifestation. I mean that. As far as you getting this strong urge to ask SP out yourself, I am of the belief, because of my own, you know, experience and success with manifestation, I don't believe that you can ask your person out if that's something that would make you happy. Just like I don't believe that you can't contact your specific person. Yes, you can if you want to. Whenever we want to do something in the 3D, my suggestion is to make sure you're doing it from your new state, from the version of self that is believing you're if you're manifesting an SP, in the loving, fulfilling, committed relationship. You know, that we're not doing it from our desperate or needy victim state. And the reason why I say, you know, check in with yourself. Who are you really being? Because if you're in the victim state, pretty high chance that you're not going to get the reflection that you want in the 3D, because 3D reflects your state, right? So check in with yourself. And if you know who you are choosing to be and you're not afraid of any outcome, meaning if they say, well, no, I don't want to. I don't feel like going out with you right now. If you know that that's not going to, you know, send you to a spiral and think your manifestation is ruined, then go for it. Truthfully. But if you do fear that, I personally wouldn't do it. Just saying. But that doesn't mean you can't. And please remember, you know, you are the boss of your reality. You are. So if you don't agree with an answer someone gives, if you don't agree with my answer, it doesn't mean you got to do it. And it doesn't mean that, you know, if you don't listen to me, you're going to ruin everything. No, you're not. Okay? So if you want to do it, do it. But from my own experience, I would check into what state you're in right now before you do it. Okay? Limitless Queen Betch, member for 9 months. Thank you very much. Betch, I feel like I'm in this place of not wanting my SP due to circumstances, but at the same time, also not wanting him because I feel like I've outgrown him. Ooh. I've had my exes. Oh, sorry. I've had my exes. I've had my eyes on an SP2 for some time now. Any thoughts? Ooh. I'm so shocked at this right now. I need to take that in. Outgrown him, huh? Outgrown him? I'm just shocked at that. If you hadn't have added that, that particular sentence in there, my mind would have said, okay, well, she also sounds like she might be in the wish fulfilled. Like she might be in the knowing state, which is not why, she's not sweating it. She's not worried about getting the manifestation because she's in the knowing. But because you added, I feel like I've outgrown him. You do know, I should just say, to give you the warning, you do know that won't stop him from manifesting in, though, right? He's still going to manifest in at some point. Even if you've decided, I don't want the bitch anymore, he's still going to manifest in at some point. So you still might have to make a decision, like yes or no to him. But, wow. I'm so blown away. That's how you feel. Oh my gosh. He will still come in. Oh, 100%. 100%. And think about it. You know, I know it says member for 9 months, but that you have been a member from long before the 9 months. I know that. You got to remember some of the examples in the exclusive lives group of people who moved on to an SP2. Their SP1 always manifested in, like I said they would. They did. So just because we change our mind doesn't mean they won't come in, right? I feel like I was ripping a Band-Aid off for a year now out of fear, to be honest. Look at you really stepping into new self. I love it. You're being 100% authentic with yourself. Fear can make us afraid with being totally honest with what we're thinking and believing about things. So it sounds like you stepped out of the fear and stepped into your 100% authenticity. Yeah, fearful of leaving him. Yeah, I totally understand. Wow. Girl, well then go. Go for it. Go for SP2. I will say too is poop. Focusing on an SP2 doesn't mean, oh my God, I'm taking my focus off SP1. Now they're not going to manifest it. And I know it's not because you're worried about that, but I'm saying for anybody else listening, because I know there are some people out there who do manifest more than one person, blah, blah, blah. SP1 will still manifest in. And if you're feeling that way and you want to give a little attention and focus to SP2, being the version of you who was in the loving, fulfilling, committed relationship with SP2, then go for it. Go for it. And now that you've stepped out of that fear, I am so excited to hear about how SP1 is coming in now. Because I'm putting that prediction out there. I cannot wait to hear. And I'll drop who he is on Tuesday for you, bitch. Yes, please do. But I know I deserve so much better. Wait. Fearful of leaving him, but I know I deserve so much better. Oh, I know he will. Yes. And that's important. That's actually a really good example. All right. So for any of us out there manifesting an SP, and the version of them that is showing up isn't that great, some of us don't feel like getting over how they have shown up. For some of us, it's not worth fixing them, bringing in their best version. Some of us don't want to do that and want to move on to a different SP. There's nothing wrong with that. It's your reality. You know what I mean? That's why I used the example earlier in the live stream about like an annoying coworker. Sometimes there's people in our reality that, yeah, we know that we are stepping into new self, but maybe how that person has shown up in the past, you don't feel like seeing them differently. right? So our beliefs about how they are or who they are as a person, we don't feel like changing. That's okay. We don't have to, you know? I'm not saying hanging on to it as, what's that word? Not hurt, but hanging on to it and having the baggage of anything we didn't like about that person if they did anything to hurt our feelings. I don't mean hanging on to the hurt because that's only going to hurt us, but releasing all of that and at the same time saying, nah, I don't even think I really want to be with you. Maybe there was too much of a past. I can forgive you. So the baggage isn't on my shoulders, but I don't want you anymore. I don't see anything wrong with that. And that's probably where you are right now. Again, it's always a choice. Now, I do have to say, because I'm sure there's some SP manifestors out there shitting themselves, worried or triggered by all of that conversation. Like, oh my God, what if that happens to me? What if I get to the place where I don't want my SP anymore? I don't want that to happen. I don't want to manifest getting over my SP. Because I've had people ask me, Kim, I don't feel like I need to think about SP anymore. And then I have moments of being afraid that, well, I don't want to have thoughts about not wanting SP anymore, because then what if that means I'm not going to manifest with you? No. All of you are thinking too logically. Too logically. You want to get to the place where you're so comfortable in knowing you don't got to think about SP 24/7. They'll still manifest in, right? Some of us are so attached to feeling anxious and afraid over our manifestations that we don't realize that when we start feeling good, because we're stepping into our limitless selves, our new self concept, right? When we start feeling good, knowing our worth and knowing that we deserve the best and we're more than enough. And when we start feeling good, some of us think there's something fucking wrong because we're not worried about our manifestation. No, that's the place you're trying to get to. Not worrying about your manifestation, not sweating it, not feeling anxious over it all the time. That's where you want to be. In your calm, confident self. Okay, that doesn't automatically mean you're going to not want your SP anymore. It just means you're not afraid of not getting SP, right? There's a difference in the feeling. So what Limitless Queen Batch is feeling is not quite that. She's honestly in a place of, I don't even think I want his ass anymore. That's a little different. But I'm so excited for you. It's going to be kind of funny how he's going to be still wanting you. You're going to have to keep us updated. I'm loving this. Okay. Ankita. Pretty name. Ankita. Thank you very much. Happy birthday, gal. First, thank you for making us understand manifestation easier. Secondly, Poop is not bored. He is so in peace around you that he always is asleep. Thank you so much. First of all, thank you for the birthday wishes. And secondly, thank you very much for the beautiful comment about Poop. But she's a girl, just so you know. But it's okay. She's a girl. I love that you said that. That just made me feel all zhuzhy. Because that's exactly what I want Poop to feel like around me at all times. Right? Because I want her to have her best life. That just made me feel so nice. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. I'm not going to lie. I do, because I am sassy and sarcastic, love thinking that like she's so bored to tears with hearing me talk that I put her to sleep. But because it's funny. Because she can give me some looks sometimes that I'm pretty sure she's giving me the middle finger. Just saying. All right. Anyway. Hold on. Whoops. Jana, thank you very much. Would like to reach out to SP because I feel like it. Last time spoke, he ended things with me. Should I keep affirming contact? Is this 3D manipulation? All right. So 3D manipulation is when, I'm trying to think of a good example. When you feel like you have to contact SP to make sure that they don't forget about you. When you feel like you need to text and call and bug SP to go out with you out of fear that they're not going to like you anymore. So you're doing it just to make sure they're still there. That's kind of manipulation of 3D. Or, the trying to force SP to do an action to get them to talk to you. That's manipulation. And we're doing that from fear. So just wanting to text your SP in of itself, that's not manipulation, right? It's always the intention behind the action that matters or that says the difference. So, for example, if you were in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship with your person, wouldn't it be just a damn normal thing to text them whenever you feel like it? Well, yes. But there are some of us who know damn well we are in a desperate and needy state and want to make sure that SP is still there and knows of our existence and then uses that. Well, if I was in a relationship with him, that I would be texting him, so I'm going to text him. And you know damn well you're just saying that to yourself to convince yourself that you're not doing it out of neediness and desperation. But you can't lie to yourself. And inside at the very same time, you know you're doing it from desperation. You know you are. Because you can't outwit yourself. You can't outwit higher self or God, universe, or your subconscious mind. You can't really outwit anything. See what I'm saying? So I am of the mindset that it doesn't, if you want to contact SP, contact SP. If you want to, up the possibilities that you're going to have a good experience with that text or call, see what version of self you are in that moment, what state you're in. And if you authentically know you're in a desperate, needy state, in a victim state, don't do it then. Because there's a high probability of a chance you're not going to get the response you want. That's all. But not because texting or calling them is going to ruin something. Outside of the fact that, listen, if in the 3D your SP has verbalized to you, don't contact me. Respect their wishes. Respect the 3D wishes while you're choosing to be the version of yourself that's in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship with that person. See what I mean? Now, as far as, because I knew there was more to your question. As far as affirming for contact, there really isn't a right or wrong response to that. Like the answer to that isn't a yes or no. There's nothing wrong with manifesting contact, affirming for contact. If you were coming to me for coaching, I would keep asking you questions why you want to affirm for the contact. Because when I hear someone affirming for that, we're always in constant contact. I know that there's more to it. There's a because why. Why we're affirming for constant contact. Nothing wrong with wanting to have a relationship where you do have normal, regular, constant contact with your person. Nothing wrong with that in of itself, right? You're allowed to decide what kind of a fucking relationship you want to manifest. But a lot of the times when someone's affirming that, there's more to it. There's a fear to something. And sometimes it's the fear of, I believe we're in no contact. I believe we're in no contact. So I'm going to affirm for the contact, and we're doing it from a less than favorable state. So again, it's one of those gray areas. So I would keep whittling down to the reason behind that. Again, some people are manifesting in steps. Nothing wrong with that. I initially manifested my person from steps. You don't have to manifest in steps. My thing is really get authentic with yourself and what do you really believe is possible for you with this manifestation? Do you believe it's really possible for you to get your person back? Now, there might be a totally normal fear that comes up and says, I don't know. I'm afraid. The fear of the unknown. I'm saying, are you still, okay, this is just an example, so I'm not saying you're always doing this, but is there still a feeling of, they don't want the relationship anymore? That's what they said. So, I'm afraid they're not going to change their mind. No. What do you really believe? What were you believing while you were in the relationship? So, in other words, have I changed those beliefs? Have I decided that I don't have the not good enough belief? I don't have that anymore. That's not who I am anymore. I don't choose that version of me anymore. I'm the version of me that believes that I can be chosen by the person I love. And you can put SP's name there. I believe that. That's who I am. This is who I am. I know reality has to reflect me. So you're really just getting to the heart of what you're really still believing about love, about relationships, about your person. So I know that was really long-winded, but I hope you see what I mean by there's nothing wrong in and of itself manifesting contact. Really nothing wrong with that. But a lot of times there's a comma. There's something else we're thinking around the contact itself. So if I were you, hold on, I'm just rereading your thing one more time. The fact that he ended the relationship with you, and by your question, you didn't write anything there like he said, don't contact me ever again. It doesn't matter that he was the one that ended the relationship. Meaning, if you are comfortable and you know you are your new self and you want to reach out and say hi, reach out and say hi. It doesn't matter that he ended it. Unless, of course, he said something like, don't contact me anymore. I would respect his wishes on that, but still be manifesting them, right? But it doesn't matter who ended the relationship. I'm hoping that makes sense. I feel like I just took you all over the place to bring you right back. So, hold on one second. Oh, I thought that was the question. Can you choose any version of anyone? No, that wasn't a question. Okay. Oh my God, do I have them all caught up? Am I really caught up? That never happens. Hold on. I did. I got them all. Oh my God, that's awesome. Whoop, whoop. Okay. Now I can just hop into the chat. Yay. Okay. Let's see. Kim, how to feel confident without content? What do you mean, like watching content? Feeling confident about what? Your manifestation? Why do you feel like you can't watch content? So let's go to the fear first. Why do you think you can't watch content? Listen, I understand, because I've made videos on this, that if you're still watching content and not applying, now we got an issue. If you're watching content from 70,000 different manifestation coaches and getting yourself confused, okay, now we got a problem. But if you're watching content and you are applying it to your 3D reality, and watching content just puts you in a good mood, it gives you a zhuzh, because you love hearing about manifestation, because you love the idea that we're manifesting our realities, then there's nothing wrong with watching content. See what I'm saying? The only time it's an issue watching content is when you are not applying what you're learning from the content. Or you are watching too many different people and getting yourself frustrated and confused and taking on the limited beliefs of others. That's when it's a problem. But if I don't watch content, I look at the 3D and get super anxious on how long it's been. There's nothing wrong with watching content. You become an anxious mess without watching me. You're so sweet. Do I make you feel better? Do I shush you? Good, that makes me happy. I can't watch content because I feel like I'm not really applying. Why? Just because you're chilling, listen to some videos? All right, let's have this conversation then. Well, if you weren't watching a video, what would you be doing? What would you be doing right now in this moment if you weren't watching the live stream? Applying manifestation, applying the ideas of manifestation, as in the way I would word it, the choosing to be new self is done every moment that you're breathing. So if we couldn't watch if we stop manifesting to watch a video, then we have this ass backwards. Because you can still identify as your new self while watching TV. For the love of God, I just rewatched for the third time the first 3 seasons of Dance Moms. Okay? But I was still identifying as new self. I knew who I was while I was rewatching Dance Moms. And no, I was never a dancer. I don't know why that show was a guilty pleasure to me, but it was. Okay? No, I have no connection to dancing outside of the fact that I love to dance to disco music and to some good R&B, okay? But I didn't stop being new self because Dance Moms was on. I occasionally love to watch Sammy fucking Ingram because I just love her. She's the sass queen. I love her. She's the reason I made my own channel, truthfully. Even though I knew manifestation before finding her, she didn't introduce me to the law of assumption. But there weren't a lot of channels way back when. There was only law of attraction. Actually, back then there wasn't even that. It was just Abraham Hicks. That's all you could find was Abraham Hicks shit. Right? But I love Sammy Ingram. I love her. Can't say that enough. But if I watch one of her videos, does that mean I'm no longer my new self? Fuck no. It's because I like watching her. So there's nothing wrong with watching content. It really isn't. Unless, of course, when you are out living your 3D life, meaning when the TV's off or the phone is off and you go to work or school or go to the grocery store, if we're not applying while we're living, that's when we need to remind ourselves who we are. But there's nothing wrong with watching content. There really isn't. Okay? Just saying. Love you and Sammy Ingram. I follow both of you and thank you for helping me on my new self-discovery. Oh, Blake, thank you so much. I love her. I just love her. Anyway, so don't be so hard on yourself, girl. Seriously. Enjoy watching content. It's okay. It really is. Yeah, I feel immense anxiety without content in my ears. I associate anxiety with not being in the state. Okay, Mara, this is a good question then. You got to stop doing that. We got to decide right now in this moment together. Let's decide it together. Feeling anxiety, having anxious feelings doesn't mean you're out of the state, so stop claiming it. You know, if you've been claiming it and associating with it that you're out of the state, well, yes, up until this conversation, that is what was happening because you were choosing it. Probably, it's not your fault, but we got to remember your body's going to respond out of habit until you break the habit. So you've got to be the person to consciously choose for yourself. Having anxiety doesn't mean I'm out of the state. I'm still new self. Having a bad mood doesn't mean I'm out of the state. I'm still my new self. Because every mood, every feeling, every emotion is available to all states of consciousness. Meaning, I wake up a grumpy bitch every morning. Every morning I'm a grumpy bitch. I am no one's friend first thing in the morning. But I know I'm new self. I know I'm the version of myself in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship with my man. I know I'm still my son's mother. I know who I am. I know I'm still manifesting with Kimberly. But I'm a bitch in the morning. I'm moody. It's just who I am. See what I'm saying? So don't associate anxious, anxiety, any of that with I'm automatically out of the state. Don't give yourself that label. Decide differently, okay? Because we're going to break through that habit. And consider the first time you tell yourself that this anxiety, whatever I'm feeling, doesn't mean I'm out of the state. Does not mean that I am still new self. That's you breaking through your habit, right? That's you responding to it a new way, right? The beginnings of breaking a habit. Thank you for that clarification. I so needed to hear that anxiety doesn't affect us being out of the state. Well, you are welcome. You are welcome. I thought I made a video about that. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I should. That makes sense. Thank you. Anxiety or not, I'm in the state. Yes, exactly. Remember, you are always in charge. Always in charge of who you are, right? This is why we don't have to feel good all the time. This is why we don't have to be perfect all the time to manifest what we want. This is why I share with you, the moments of my journey. Okay? That's why I tell you the moments I was a hot mess express, crying constantly, and still got my outcome. I share it for you to see. You don't have to be perfect. You cannot mess this up. Your only concern should be returning to your decision. Everything's going to be okay. Everything is. The vet told me today that my dog has blank, blank. I'm not going to say it out loud because we're not accepting it. Left to that ugly C word and my anxiety spikes. Okay, Mara, we're not accepting that. No. We're not accepting it. No, your dog is fine and is going to live a long, healthy, loving life. Your dog is healthy. Your dog is going to be another example of the C word spontaneously going back or going bye-bye. Nope. Dog is healthy and perfect. And right there in that answer has 3 to 6 months. Well, you're not sure. It's 3 to 6. It's a maybe, right? It's a maybe. Do you know why it's a maybe? Because there have been examples of dogs and humans living longer, right? It's an average. It's an average of 3D limited minds. You're not a muggle. Your dog is healthy and perfect. We do not accept. Okay? We do not accept that. Okay? We can accept what we heard, meaning, I heard it. Yep, I heard the vet say that to me. But no, healthy and perfect. Period. And I'm not, Eggs right, Poop agrees. Exactly. That was her giving the backup. Like, yeah, Martin, don't you listen. Everything's going to be fine. Right? Healthy and perfect. Hold on 1 second. Limitless Queen Betch, thank you very much. I meant to tell you, Betch, but I got a new job and it led me to a huge money opportunity. Oh my God, I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. Look at you. Look at you radically changing your 3D, girl. Look at you. Look at this. The winds of change are happening for you, my friend. I'm so excited for you. Well done. You were manifesting this. Why do I feel like we had this conversation in maybe one of the groups that you were manifesting? Am I wrong? Didn't you? I mean, this is a success story. You should be proud of yourself. Well done. Well done. Man, I love manifestation. I really do. It's so exciting. And that's the thing, guys, is, we get so wrapped up with our day-to-day life that we we think things aren't changing, but things are always happening. Things are always changing. You know, for the manifestations that don't feel like they're instant, well, everything you're experiencing, all the little incremental moments are leading you to that manifestation. They really are. Everything is. And sometimes yucky circumstances, they're even still leading you to that outcome. It's so exciting. It always puts me in an instant good mood. Well done, Limitless Queen. All right. So on this note, I must now go. Thank you to all of you who spent my, my early birthday live stream with me, because I don't know that I'm going to be able to go live on my exact birthday, which is Sunday. I appreciate you all. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. Thank you, thank you. But the nails are done, so I got to get moving because we're going out tonight. You know what I mean? My hair's still wet, but that's okay. You know what? Because I put fucking gel in it this morning before my channel membership, and I have to go shake the gel. I got to shake out the hairspray and gel. All right. I love you all. Time for me to go get sexy because we're going out for dinner. Hopefully, I will have the ability to come live on my birthday like I usually do. But if not, well, like usually. I don't know. Have I always gone live on my exact birthday? I'm not sure. I feel like I have, but regardless, I love you all. Thank you very much. I got through all the super chats in a live stream. That's a present in itself. Decide to be your new self. Okay? So, thank you, Rhonda. Decide to be the version of yourself that has what you want. You really are manifesting your realities. Don't let those fearful thoughts rule you. They're not your boss. They're just opportunities to other realities. Okay? All right. I love you all. I'll see you all. Well, probably